Pickles are exploding in popularity, showing up on more than just burgers and sandwiches. In kitchens and restaurants around the world, these crunchy snacks are popping up in the most unexpected places. On pizza, in smoothies, and even in craft cocktails. They've become a favorite ingredient, championed by celebrity chefs and everyday cooks alike. Social media is bursting with pickle challenges, pickle-flavored snacks, and taste test videos that rack up millions of views. It seems like everyone is obsessed with that tangy crunch. But as you bite into one of those neon green spears, have you ever paused to wonder what's hiding beneath that acidic zing? While pickles are famously low in calories and praised for their flavor punch, there's a hidden side to this beloved snack, one that could be quietly undermining your health. Let's dive behind the pickle craze to uncover what experts are warning about, and why your next visit to the fridge may deserve a second thought. For starters, pickles are often marketed as gut-friendly, fermented, and even as a guilt-free superfood. They fit neatly into popular diet plans because they're low in calories, fat-free, and offer a satisfying crunch. They're promoted as a replacement for high-fat, high-calorie snacks, and conveniently, they require virtually no preparation. It seems like the perfect deal. But as with so many too-good-to-be-true options, when you peel back the packaging and look beneath the surface, you might discover there's more to the story. At the heart of any pickle is the process of preservation. Cucumbers, when submerged in a salty brine or vinegar solution, undergo a transformation. Flavor intensifies, and the vegetable becomes shelf-stable for months. But the very ingredients that help pickles last on store shelves are also at the center of health concerns. Chief among them, sodium. The recommended daily allowance of sodium for most adults is less than 2,300 milligrams per day, and lower still, about 1,500 milligrams if you have high blood pressure or heart risk factors. Yet, a single serving of popular commercial pickles can serve up more than a third of your daily sodium needs, sometimes packing over 800 milligrams in just a few spears or slices. For those who munch mindlessly, that number can skyrocket. Why does this matter? Sodium's role in the body is to regulate fluid balance and support nerve and muscle function, but too much sodium tips that balance out of favor. High sodium intake is closely linked to elevated blood pressure, also known as hypertension, a silent condition that strains your arteries, stiffens their walls, and puts you at greater risk for heart disease, heart attack, and stroke. It's not just a theoretical risk. Decades of research and clinical guidelines urge us to keep sodium exposure in check precisely to protect heart health. Over time, consistently eating more sodium than your body needs doesn't immediately make you feel sick, but its effects are cumulative, slowly eroding the foundation of your cardiovascular health. This is why doctors and nutritionists are raising red flags as pickles become a daily dietary staple for millions. But sodium isn't the only watch-out. Take a closer peek at the label of your favorite pickle jar, and you might spot other preservation agents. One common additive is sodium benzoate. Used for decades in processed foods, sodium benzoate prevents spoilage but has a controversial side. When combined with ascorbic acid, vitamin C, a reaction can form benzene, a chemical associated with increased cancer risk with sustained exposure. While most pickles don't contain enough sodium benzoate or vitamin C for immediate danger, the risk stacks up if you're regularly consuming a variety of preserved foods or carbonated drinks containing these compounds. For the health-conscious, even this slim chance is worth considering, especially since these ingredients largely serve the food industry's desire for longer shelf life, not your body's interests. Then, consider what makes pickles sour. The acidic brine, typically vinegar or a combo of vinegar and salt. That satisfying tang is an acquired taste for many, but for some, it comes at a price. Vinegar's high acidity can slowly erode the protective enamel on your teeth, especially if you're snacking throughout the day or sipping the brine as a trend. Enamel loss isn't something you notice immediately, but over time your teeth become more sensitive, prone to cavities, and may require expensive dental repairs. And it's not just your teeth at risk. Stomach health can also suffer from persistent exposure to acidic and salty foods. If you're prone to acid reflux, heartburn, or have a sensitive digestion. The combination of vinegar and salt in pickles can irritate the stomach lining, contributing to symptoms like bloating, discomfort, or inflammation. Some individuals, particularly those with existing digestive tract challenges or ulcers, find that pickled foods worsen their symptoms, making day-to-day eating a source of discomfort. But perhaps the biggest letdown for pickle enthusiasts is the myth of the probiotic pickle. Many turn to pickled or fermented foods for their supposed boost to the gut microbiome. After all, live cultures are a wellness buzzword, said to promote smooth digestion, improved immunity, and even enhanced mental clarity. Some artisanal or homemade pickles, crafted through natural fermentation, do contain live, gut-friendly bacteria. However, the pickles sitting on most grocery store shelves usually don't. The majority of commercially produced pickles are made using vinegar-based brines and are then pasteurized. Pasteurization, a high-heat treatment, guarantees safety and shelf stability, but in the process, it wipes out any living probiotic cultures. So those mass-produced, shelf-stable jars touted for their tang aren't delivering the probiotic punch you might expect. What's more, pickles labeled as fermented can still be pasteurized, so the label alone isn't proof of live cultures. If you've been eating pickles for the health benefits but relying on mass-market products, you might not be getting what you paid for. To give a snapshot of how these health pitfalls play out in real life, let's hear from two experts. According to Dr. Rachel Hayes, a registered dietitian specializing in cardiovascular health, just because something is low in calories doesn't mean it's good for you. Pickles are extremely high in sodium, and consistent overconsumption can be dangerous, especially for those with hypertension. We often think of snacks as the occasional indulgence, but when people are adding pickles to every meal, the numbers add up quickly. Over time, sodium can cause the blood vessels to harden and narrow, leading to a higher risk of heart attack and stroke. For my patients, I always recommend checking labels and balancing sodium intake. Meanwhile, Dr. Kevin Liu, a gastroenterologist, has seen firsthand how popular trends can lead to unexpected digestive issues. We're seeing more cases of acid reflux and gastric inflammation linked to frequent intake of pickled foods. The vinegar and salt combination, while flavorful, can be harsh on the digestive tract over time. For people with sensitive stomachs, frequent consumption can cause discomfort, bloating, or even exacerbate the symptoms of conditions like gastritis or irritable bowel syndrome. It's important not to overlook the cumulative impact of foods consumed daily. And there's a mental health element too. Emerging research suggests that high-sodium diets can also affect hormone regulation within the brain, impacting everything from mood to cognitive clarity. Some studies are exploring a possible link between chronic high-sodium consumption and a subtle decline in mental focus or mood stability. While these findings are early, they add another dimension to the advice for moderation. But don't panic, eating pickles isn't all doom and gloom. Like many foods, their impact depends on quantity, frequency, and type. Not all pickles are created equal. Traditional, naturally fermented pickles, typically found in refrigerated sections and labeled raw or unpasteurized, do contain some live bacteria, known as probiotics. These varieties often have a cloudier brine and must be kept cold. They're usually lower in sodium, as they rely on the natural process of fermentation to achieve both preservation and tanginess. Fermented pickles can offer genuine gut health benefits, but they are often less stable than their shelf counterparts, and may be harder to find or more expensive. Even so, when consumed in moderation, they can be a smart choice for those seeking benefits beyond just flavor. So what's the real danger with pickles? For most people, the harm doesn't come from an occasional nibble or using them to brighten up a salad. The problem arises when pickles become a daily indulgence, a go-to snack on every break, a side with every meal, an additive for every craving. The creeping increase in sodium, the subtle exposure to preservatives, and the repeated acid hit to your teeth and gut stack up day after day. Think of your health as the sum of your habits. Consuming high-sodium, heavily processed pickles on a regular basis stretches your heart and your digestive system to their limits. And when you consider that many other foods in your diet, like breads, ready-made meals, canned soups, sauces, and snacks, also contain hidden sodium. A few extra pickle servings can easily tip the balance. If you're reaching into the jar more than once or twice a week, it might be time to pause and reconsider. What can you do to enjoy pickles more safely? Look for pickles made with simple ingredients: cucumbers, water, salt, vinegar, and spices. Avoid brands that load up on sodium, artificial colors, or preservatives like sodium benzoate. If possible, select naturally fermented pickles and keep an eye out for labels indicating live cultures or raw. Better still, consider making your own, controlling the amount of salt, avoiding unwanted additives, and experimenting with fresh herbs and flavorings. And remember, moderation is key. Just like with any flavorful treat, it's not the taste that harms you, it's the frequency. But the story doesn't stop at pickles. The health traps tucked away in your fridge and pantry can be subtle. Salad dressings, jarred sauces, processed deli meats, and even plant-based snacks can all harbor hidden sodium, preservatives, and chemicals that chip away at your well-being. It's easy to focus on calories or macros and forget that the quality of ingredients matters just as much, if not more. Watch out for health halos. Just because something touts organic, natural, or low-calorie doesn't automatically make it good for you. Always check the label, ask how things are made, and take a closer look before making it part of your routine. Most importantly, listen to your body. Notice how you feel after eating certain foods. Pay attention to energy levels, digestion, and long-term health markers like blood pressure and cholesterol. Hidden ingredients can create subtle changes that add up, sometimes in ways you didn't expect. So the next time you crave that irresistible combination of crunch, salt, and tang, reach for a pickle, but pause and enjoy it mindfully. Let it be a treat rather than a habit. Because the real danger with pickles isn't that first bite. It's the gradual, repeated reach into the jar. And as you close the lid on that pickle jar, consider what else might be hiding in your kitchen, posing as a friend to your health while quietly sabotaging your efforts. From health yogurts with sky-high sugar to energy bars with mystery ingredients, the modern food landscape is filled with surprises. Stick around. In the next step of your health journey, we'll uncover more about the everyday foods and fridge staples that may not be the heroes you've been led to believe. Your health deserves closer attention, and what you discover next might surprise you.